Yeah, okay. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another vlog. It's already the end of March and I really wanted to make a video every month, like a monthly recap and what I've been doing, like my art and prints. But this month I haven't really filmed anything because I'm feeling so understimulated. I am doing okay. I am not feeling like sad or depressed, but I do get lonely sometimes and very bored. And this is a bit of the month where I am those things. Even though I'm not really lonely, I do feel like I'm very bored. And let me preface this once again saying this is such a privilege. So I hope it doesn't feel like I'm complaining, because I am of course still really blessed with this life, but I just haven't felt like making things. And it is such a weird thing where you really have all the time in the world, like I have basically all the time in the world right now, and for some reason I don't know where the time goes. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting in the sun, working in the garden, going to the thrift store. I sometimes draw. I am working on some projects, but like for sewing, for example, I have just cut out something to sew. Is this? Oh no, this is just the fabric. But it's been like 5 weeks or 6 weeks since I've last sewn anything, and I have all the time in the world to sew. But for some reason, you know, even this month or this weekend, I just thought I'm really gonna sew this dress this weekend. It is now Sunday afternoon, and I don't know if I'm gonna sew this dress today. I don't know why. I'm just not feeling motivated to make things. And for some reason I felt motivated to make a video today, and I'm just gonna start. So I've always been thinking like my videos need to have like a little bit of a like a meaning or a goal to show other people. So of course I always show you my honesty, authenticity, like things feel for me, and I thought I would make one of those videos again because I am currently working or trying to work on a new print, a new Riso print. And because in May I'm gonna participate in one of the markets again, and I was thinking I really wanted to make a print about gardening because I have a garden now and it's bringing me so much joy. I am going to show you some, you know, video footage, b-roll, whatever, of my garden. I've been sowing so many things. I knew I didn't have to sow so many tomato plants or use so many seeds, but I still did. I didn't use like the whole package, but I still used way too much. So I probably have like 50 tomato plants in a month or so. But you know, we'll see what suffices. And I got like a little greenhouse, and I'm slowly working on filling up the garden with more plants. I've moved in last year, and there was like an old man living here, and they closed up everything in the garden because he was too old to take care of the garden. There is this beautiful huge lilac tree, which is not in bloom yet, but will be soon, and I cannot wait. I fell in love with it when I went to see this house last year, which has been almost a year ago. It's absolutely crazy. But my goal of this video is to show you how hard I find it to make a proper drawing. And I am still looking for my style. So this is gonna be a total random, boring video. I think I'm gonna rant a lot, as you might have noticed. Hello, Editing Angie here. The video is not going to be only about that print, it's going to be about so much more, especially about the garden. So you're gonna see a lot of flowers, a lot of tulips, and I'm gonna make more prints as well. I'm gonna get really inspired, and it's gonna be a totally different video than I thought it would be. But just keep hanging on, it's gonna be quite long, I think. But yeah, it's gonna be more than just about that print, actually. But I am going to try and make a print about gardening, and I am still figuring out how to make it. I'm currently working on the prints. I started yesterday on my iPad. I made like a lot of different sketches, and I am still finding my style. And I feel like this year it's been a bit of an odd year, and maybe also a bit of a transition where I'm maybe going more into you know, illustrating, printmaking, and a little less into photographing. It's also been my birthday, and I've got other things to tell, but I'm gonna tell you first about my gardening prints. I've been working on that, and I'm gonna show you some images that I have here on my iPad. I'm also gonna take a screenshot of my drawing as it is right now. I hate the colors, by the way, so I'm gonna edit that later on. I struggle a lot with filling up a page or like a print or a drawing. That's something I've always known, and for some reason I sometimes try to make a big drawing again, and I always feel like they don't really work out, and people notice that, people don't find them interesting because I don't think they flow nicely or something. I can already see that happening in my drawing here compared to the other sketches that were way more exciting. So I do really wonder how other artists do that. Maybe I should just practice more. I think one of my favorite drawings that I've made in like the last years maybe even is this one. Not sure if you can see it with the glass. I've made it in the beginning of this year, and it's quite popular, and I still really love it. And it's actually quite an easy drawing. It was of course a lot of work because I had to carve out to make it look like a lino cut, but it's very basic. It had just two basic colors. It was red and teal, and it's Riso printed, and I think I want to go in that direction. The puffins as well. I'm working on several puffin cards. I think I really want to go into the puffin, and what I really love with the puffins that I've drawn is that they have turned into like sort of little characters, and instead of just stiff birds. And that's what I really love. So I really love to go in that direction. But sometimes I also love still doing a little bit more of a, how should I say it? A little bit more subtle, with like textures and everything. I am also working on a Riso print calendar, which I think is going to be like this format. I really want to make it that for the market as well, but I am really at the point where I have so many projects in my head or going on and not really going through with them. So they're gonna be like little birds and flowers, and it's all very complicated because that means I need to make like 12 drawings, and I don't really make quick drawings. So that's also where I'm still looking, what's my strongest point in making art.
Welcome in my hallway. So I went with a friend to the garden center because here in the Netherlands they are very keen on getting rid of pavement in gardens, and so they held so every year they have this contest that every city can win their how should I phrase this? So the city that has the most greenest gardens, so the gardens that have removed most of their pavement, so the tiles, I'm not sure if you call them tiles, I'm just gonna go and call them tiles. So the city that has removed most of its tiles, I don't know, they get a prize or whatever, and so they really encourage people to get rid of the tiles and get plants instead. So last year I did this as well, and this year 2 garden centers are competing. I wanted to say it's not competing, participating. So this year 2 garden centers are participating, which means that I can bring one of my tiles from my garden, and I have 50 now, so more than enough, and I can bring them in and get plants for free. I think it's such a good deal, and what really surprised me today was they were all organic. And you also get a big bag of compost, not really compost, soil. Wow. So and I also got a big bag of soil. What I did today, I removed even more tiles and sown in some organic flowers, and I really hope some will show this year. And of course got in my new flowers. I removed my hydrangea, I'm not sure how you call them in English, we call them hortensias, and I think in English there's something like hydrangea, not sure how to pronounce it. And that was from the previous owner, and I find them a little bit 80s, a bit boring, a bit bland, and my garden is south facing, so it hates that placement. So I removed it and got it in one of my big pots and set it in front of my garden. I have another garden in front of my house that is obviously north facing, and I have another tiny hortensia or hydrangea, whatever, plants there, and it does so well. So I'm really excited to have done that. And I removed my baby fig tree and also removed my olive tree. The olive tree was gifted to me from a friend. It was so big. Can you see that? So this big, very, very small, and it has grown quite a bit. It even has olives, but it was not happy in that big pot. So I just put it in the ground. It is quite a big bit nearby my fig tree, which I think will go really large, but I might just remove it in a few years. I really hope my fig tree will survive, because it had already long, deep roots, even though I just planted it like not even a year ago. And I know you have to replant them in like autumn. I just felt like doing it. I'm more of like an intuitive gardener, I guess. And I was also afraid the roots would be too deep, and now I realized that I'm really happy that I just did it today and not waited till autumn. Would have been way too deep and too hard to remove. So I hope it will survive and thrive. And I think the next time I'm going to film is maybe in a few months, when hopefully everything is in bloom. Yeah, we'll see.
So when I started this video, I had no inspiration, and then all of a sudden I got some inspiration. I filmed several things about making prints and lots of things about my garden. And now I have another part of the video where I'm gonna make things, and that is I am going to make a dress. But I'm not gonna do the old school showing the whole process kind of thing, because I've said it before, but that makes me really not want to sew anymore, and I find it really hard to sew. This is going to be my first garment that I've sewn for the whole year. It's now April. I only sew like my laptop case, laptop sleeve, and so I haven't sewn anything in months. And yeah, so this is kind of a big deal. I'm gonna make a simple dress with this adorable fabric that you might have seen in my fabric haul. I don't know, I just don't really feel like sewing. I always wear the same things. I just don't really like dressing up, I guess. And you know, part of sewing is making things you want to wear. And even though I really want to make my overalls or a jumpsuit, no, flight suit, my Blanca flight suits, I really want to make them. But for some reason, I am still kind of low on energy. I just don't really want to make things, which is quite a bit frustrating. But here I am making things, and I've got a deadline. It's gonna be soon because I want to take pictures in this when my lilac tree is in bloom. And it is already blooming, but it's not even like full bloom. But I do think that will be in a few days. So that's what I'm working on right now. And you know, I've been working on this dress for weeks, like cutting out the fabric, starting the sewing. I just don't know, usually I just really want to make a dress in a day or in a weekend and get like fully hyper focused on it, and now I just don't want to, and I'm feeling very bleh. When I first started sewing on this, I got really into the zone, and today it's just not really happening. I've been looking at the pieces. I'm going to attach the sleeves, attach the sleeves. And then I need to figure out what to do with the skirts, because these are 2 coupons, which means the pieces of fabric are a bit awkward length, so I need to be a little bit more creative with that, because I do want to make this into a longer dress. It's a pattern that I think once used for a dress tutorial from Rosary Apparel, and I'm gonna use the normal blouse sleeves because I really love those. And I'm gonna use the little cuffs, which I really hate using, so wish me luck. And I'm not gonna show you any of my process except for some sewing, but hopefully the end result. So stay tuned, I guess. So I'm gonna film an outro quickly because I'm very cold. I just filmed me walking in the garden in this dress and took pictures, and I always get really into the zone. It takes like 30 minutes or so, and it is quite cold now. It isn't as warm and sunny as it was as the rest of the video for the last few weeks, no, last few days. It's been grey and rainy. Honestly, it's been like the spring that I know spring is in the Netherlands, and it's actually quite good for the plants. I'm very happy I don't have to water my garden every day. It was crazy. First of all, this dress, it took me so long to make, and everything went wrong, even though it's such a simple dress. I have to say that now that I'm wearing it, I do really like it. Made it really large, so it's just more like a comfy big white dress for summer. I honestly do feel like I am falling out of sewing. And I really thought it would be like one of those hobbies that you've had for a lifetime. Like I have a drawing or photography or whatever. And you always have like these hobbies that come and go. But I thought like sewing is the one that will stay. And I've been sewing for a few years now. And I don't know. I feel like I only make things that I wear in summer. And I do need to make overalls. And I need to fix my purple overall that I've made before. I just don't feel like it. So yeah, maybe I am falling out of love with sewing, who knows. But besides that, I finally got some inspiration because in the beginning of the video, which I filmed a month ago, I was really like bored and I felt uninspired even though the weather was great. I did a lot of gardening. It was perfect weather for that. Highly unusual, and it's been so rewarding to see everything's happening now in the garden, because last autumn I bought a lot of bulbs and they're finally coming out, and I love looking at the garden, and I love the lilac tree. And I feel like I cannot show you how huge it is because it's impossible to show you on screen, but it is huge. I think it will be probably around 50 years old. That's how long the previous owners lived here, so I feel like they've planted it here in the beginning. It's huge and I feel like it's so much fluffier and bigger than it was last year. So I really need to learn how to prune this. But yeah, further than that, I really made some new prints. I love my gardening print. I got some really good compliments about that one and also about the tulip one, which was really difficult to print, by the way. I didn't really show you because I was so busy like fixing the problems, but the ink is so saturated, it's so thick, I guess, that it kept on gluing onto the ink drum, which is very problematic and ruined the masters, and that's why it's impossible to get it perfect. But I've tried and it was a nice experiment. And apparently lots of people loved it, which is also good. I've only sold one so far though, and where I really sold a lot of prints at the beginning of the year, I barely sold any prints for the last few months, and I haven't even made money yet with my prints. Yeah, I lost money so far because I had to do a lot of like buying packaging and print costs and all that kind of stuff. But in a month there is a art market again, the print fair where I was 6 months ago. I'll put some information down below, and there'll be amazing artists over there and me as well. So that's gonna be an amazing event where I do hope to sell a lot of prints because I have so many prints right now and I don't know what to do with it. And I'm also still working on a calendar, and I'm trying to make it more simple and just use older images and maybe just not make it like about birds and flowers. About that particular month, it was just too complicated. I'm not really a quick drawer. It was quite a big monstrous video to edit because I've like, I don't know, 150 random videos of me in the garden drawing, printmaking, Riso printing, and I like every day I got out and got some more footage of my tulips. To be honest, I am going to take a few more videos after this, because now they are so almost all in bloom. Oh, they'll be gone soon. I am already so sad, but they are so beautiful. And once again, the lilac tree, I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. Sometimes I just open a window and because it's not, and just to let the smell in the house, because it's I've waited all year for this moment. Happy spring. And I'm gonna make a future video of all about the garden, I think at the end of summer, and to see what really has happened in the last year. And it's already so much greener than it was last year, so I'm very happy. And yeah, that's really about it. I'm really signing off now. Okay, bye.